We
Executive session.
I'll second it.
Recorder.
and reconvene regular
Got the
session.
recorder going?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to exit executive session and reconvene regular scheduled meeting. Can I take it to a vote?
Yeah.
All in favor?
I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to recognize Mr. Hobbs.
I'll
Go ahead, Rick.
I'll second it.
Okay, discussion. So we're recognizing Chief Appraiser Hobbs' the statement, or giving him the floor, but as far as numbering, this is going to go to, now that's going to go to 4 and everything else is going to supersede after that?
Yes.
Okay. So we're amending these to 4 will be comment by Chief Appraiser Greg Hobbs. All in favor? Agenda amended.
7/14/2026 Pike County Board of Assessors. Before today's regular scheduled meeting begins, I feel it is important to address some rumors and misinformation that have been circulating. I've been informed that following the executive session listed on today's agenda, the board intends to terminate my employment. I want to begin by saying that I have always respected the role of the Board of Assessors and the responsibility it carries in serving the citizens of this county. I have taken my responsibility seriously and have worked diligently to lead this office with professionalism, integrity, and accountability. However, I would also be dishonest if I did not express my profound disappointment in each member of this board. Leadership requires honesty, communication, and mutual respect. Unfortunately, I no longer believe these principles are guiding our working relationship. Rather than addressing concerns openly and directly, I've been left to learn of decisions affecting my employment through rumors and conversations outside this room. That is not the level of professionalism I expected or believed this office deserves. This position has provided me with experiences and relationships that I will always value. At the same time, it has become unmistakably clear that my vision for leading the Assessor's office and the board's expectations are fundamentally incompatible. Those differences are not minor. They are so substantial that I no longer believe I can effectively serve as Chief Appraiser under this board's direction. Because of that, I will not wait for others to decide my future. I hereby submit my resignation with immediate effect. I leave with my integrity intact, proud of the work I have accomplished, and confident in the decisions I have made while serving the people of this county. I sincerely hope the board will reflect on the manner in which it conducts its business and the importance of treating public servants with the same respect and transparency that it expects from them. Thank you, and I wish all the employees of the Assessor's Office nothing but success in the future. I've also got a letter here from Ms. Taylor. I have given considerable thought to the events surrounding the boarding expenses of your dogs and the statements you have made concerning my involvement. You have publicly asserted that I told you the county would pay your boarding expenses and later accused me of lying when the expenses were not paid. That accusation is false. I did not misrepresent this county's position, and I reject any suggestion that I intentionally misled you. You also told me that had you known you would not be reimbursed for your dog's boarding expenses, you would not have attended the required training. I found that statement very troubling. Attendance at the required training is a fundamental responsibility of board membership. Suggestion that you would have declined to fulfill that obligation over a personal expense raises serious concerns about your commitment to the duties expected of a board member. Although I do not believe I bear the burden of your boarding costs, I recognize that this issue has become a source of unnecessary conflict. And in the interest of bringing this matter to a close, I am willing to reimburse you for your reasonable boarding expenses you incurred, as I too am an animal lover. This offer is not an admission of wrongdoing or liability. Rather, it is an effort to resolve a dispute that has become distracting and divisive. Separately, I believe your public accusation of me has damaged the trust and professionalism expected of members of the board. Coupled with your statement regarding required training, I believe these events have undermined the confidence necessary for effective service. For those reasons, I respectfully believe it would be in the best interest of the board, its mission, and the public you serve to consider resigning. That's all I have. Thank y'all.
All right, can I entertain a motion? We need to entertain.
Yeah, I would like to make a motion to accept Greg Hobbs's resignation as Chief Appraiser of Pike County Tax Assessor's Office,
Effective immediately.
effective immediately.
We got a motion.
Got a motion on the floor
Second.
to accept resignation
Second.
of the Chief Appraiser, effective immediately. Motion and a second. Take it to a vote. All in favor? All opposed? 4. No, what, 4? 0, basically. 4 voted in favor, no vote. Did you get that? It was 4 votes, Christopher T didn't vote on that. As far as, I'm trying to throw you out in the middle. I was just trying to let him know so all right, so that is all we can talk about that, and that's all the discussion we're gonna have on that. No comment about the letters or anything. So now we go to 4, which is invocation. Can we stand and we're going to let Brent start his tradition.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come here today to conduct our business in transparency before our citizens. We wish Greg Hobbs all the best in his endeavors going forward, and we hope that this meeting that has been opened in order, conducted in peace, and closed in harmony. Amen.
Amen. Very good.
Take the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I need to ask a question here. We gonna worry about the secretary position?
Shouldn't it be brought up that we?
Yeah, I mean, we will make one more comment that
I mean, don't we have to elect somebody to be the secretary?
well, we'll just acknowledge
Okay.
that Emily, what's Emily's last name again?
Morris.
Emily Morris, which is chief appraiser too. She's our elected secretary, board secretary. According to statute, you have to have and you must elect a secretary that has to be a member of the tax assessor staff.
And they have to be an appraiser.
There has to be an appraiser from the staff, Pike County Tax Assessor's office. So she has decided to resign her position as secretary. So we're just announcing that, and we'll have to figure out. We'll elect or appoint one. We just don't know.
But as for today, do we?
No, we'll address that maybe later.
Okay.
We got some things going on here. Okay. We'll do it before, it'll be on the next meeting's agenda.
Okay.
We'll have a discussion then.
Okay.
Well, there'll be enough time to figure out who might want to take that position, whether we ask them or appoint them.
Okay.
But we won't have to see any more discussion about that today. If that's okay with y'all.
It works.
All right, so now we are on to approval of the June 4th, 2026 regular schedule minutes summary. Staff recommends approval. Can I entertain a motion?
Yes, I've reviewed I've reviewed it, and I make a motion that we approve it. Approve the June 24th regular schedule
June
minutes.
4th.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Approval of the June 4th meeting, regular schedule minutes. All in favor? Motion carries. Okay, now we're down to public comment, which would be 8, I guess.
Yeah, 8.
Do we have anybody out there that might want to make a public comment about where we are so far in this meeting?
Thanks for stepping up.
Thank you. So no public comment. Now we go to 9, which is invited guest Joe Norman with Norman Appraisals.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We'll make this not short as it will be simple.
We now have, as of yesterday, 261 appeals. Tom has visited about 100 of those.
Man.
Yeah, he's back in town this week. The ones that he's visited are on this list. He just didn't send me the suggested numbers until too late last night, so I don't have that ready for y'all yet. I just want to give y'all a list of everybody that's under appeal, what they are requesting, and what our value is. So the first one, we had a value of $481. They think it's worth $430. That's a 12% difference. Kind of see how that works?
Mhm.
I
And
have a question.
who wants one of these? may have to cheat off that if they have some questions.
Yeah.
Okay, a big one that's on there, they did file an appeal, but there was an error made with Southern Mills. Remember, they were like the top I showed y'all. This is one that went up a whole lot. We may have some issues with them. Once we meet with them, this one may have to come back down. We did have to come back down. We have met with them again and made the necessary corrections. If it's okay with y'all, we're going to send them a new notice. It's a 92,000 square foot building that we added another floor to, but it's unfinished. It calculated twice instead of calling it unfinished. We got that straightened out. It's still, I think it still went up $3 million from last year, but it came down $2.5 million from the first notice we sent them. So now they're going to either reappeal or accept that new number. So that was the biggest one we had right there. Everything else, remember we had kind of that 20% threshold that I would run in front of y'all if it dropped with our suggestions. Don't have that info yet. We still got 2 days left in the appeal process. So we could have another 100 roll in between today and Friday.
You talking about Southern Mill, you're talking about Tenkate?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and it went, you told us to start with at 8 million and
Yes,
it
sir.
has gone down to how many?
It went from 2.2 million all the way up to 8 million. And then we're back down to 5 million now after we made the correction on it. So
And the correction was that we had.
was the square footage. It doubled the square footage. You can imagine what that'll do
Yeah.
to 92,000 square foot. Instead of calling the back, because there's some unfinished area underneath that building that's almost 90,000 square feet. But it shouldn't have been listed as finished area, just unfinished kind of basement area. So
That was where I had a question. How does that impact residential properties? We have a situation where in Wind Gap, it looks like whenever a basement is listed as 100%,
Mhm.
it automatically folds it into the
into the
GLA.
square footage.
Right.
Yes.
How is that calculated? Is it calculated internally separately or is it?
What we have to do is you call that in the system, we call it 99%. So
Yes.
it still gets the full value of the basement. It just doesn't add to the square footage of the property.
Okay,
I mean, of the house, excuse me.
right, the improvement.
So if the only other problem with that is if you see that on Q Public and you see a 2,000 square foot house pricing out at $200 a square foot, it's not sometimes showing that finished basement area if it shows 99%.
Right,
We know that there's still that much square footage in that basement is why it's priced out. So when you add that basement square footage back, obviously that price per square foot comes down tremendously.
okay. Here's the question I have.
Mhm.
You have a property that was at 100%. It's corrected in Wind Gap to the 99% so that it removes that finished basement area from the gross living area.
Right.
The improvement assessment only goes down $700.
Because you're just removing 1% of that finish.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Yes,
So
sir.
even though Wind Gap is including that finished area in the overall gross living area,
Mhm.
it's not internally calculated in Wind Gap as gross living area?
It is calculating what we have a schedule for finished basement area. Our finished basement area schedule may be $75 a square foot. Where
Right.
the main living area may be double that. So we
Right.
put a break for the finished basement area. But yes, it will still price out that price per square foot.
It just doesn't
It
show
just
that.
doesn't show it in the square footage. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I was asking,
Yep.
because when you look at a
Because you
property,
see something drop 2,000 square feet and it only dropped $700.
yes,
Right, yeah.
that was the question I
Yes, sir.
had.
I
So
got you.
internally in Wind Gap, it's doing the math correctly.
It's just not
It's
showing the
just
square
displaying
footage.
it incorrectly
But that is correct.
and
yes.
confusing a lot
Why
of
can't they
people.
correct that?
There's a lot
Because
I'm
Wind
trying
Gap
to get
is-
Wind Gap to do.
Is
They don't have any new.
based from the 90s.
Yes,
and
everybody
it's
that's
barely
still in
out of
Wind Gap
DOS.
are the same folks that created Wind Gap.
Hey, I wonder, why don't we create something else?
There are other systems that are more
My dad
expensive.
created the first software system in the state of Georgia in the 70s. It was called Norcus. And Gap came in after that, Georgia Appraisal, whatever the pig, I can't remember now. And then they switched over to Wind Gap when Windows became something.
Mhm.
Kind of pushed my dad out of the business. But that's why we know how to work all the systems.
One
because-
was DOS and one was Windows.
Yes, sir. And so they just have kind of hit a dead end on technology with Wind Gap. And then everybody is busy with the new house bill. That's why you can't get any help from WinGap right now, because the state was on trying to get these assessment notices fixed. Because WinGap takes care of the assessment notices too. So they were working on that when everybody else is having their own issues in 159 or 129 counties that they're in.
Can you tell me about, on page 1? I'll get there.
Okay.
Maybe not page 1. It is page,
And these are map and parcel order, by
Yeah.
the way.
page 4. Parcel number 065036, a reduction of $3 million. Do you know off the top of your head how many square feet that facility is?
I'm not sure. So we're at that. So that is Pike Plaza. That is
Yep.
that's McElroy. So we're at 8.2 million was the notice we sent. They think it's worth 5.1 million. So that's not a reduction. That's
Okay.
That's just their asserted
Okay.
value. Yeah. No, we haven't gone to that. That's what they think it's worth. We're at 8 million. They think it's worth 5 million.
All right.
But the way they do their appeals is they want you to appraise it only 4% per year, which is the inflationary index, they think. But what they're not considering is they've had the same value for 4 years. So if I do 4% a year, they're not going to like it, which is what I throw at them. Okay, I'll do 4% a year, but you've been froze for 4 years, so now it's going to be 16%.
Do you
Does that make
base,
sense?
do you have any input from market? Do you look at market?
This is going to be all based on income.
And it really would be 16% on your original number. You got to put 4% on that number,
Right.
and then put 4% on that number.
Okay,
So
hold-
it's going to be higher than 16%.
Yes, that's
Hold on.
right.
You said it's based on income.
Mhm.
So you're
Right
basing it
now,
on
this
the
is based
leases
right now,
or
this is-
market rent?
Yes, that is correct, yes.
Well,
So
if
I
you
gotta
base it
meet-
on the leases, it's going to be a leased fee value, and the Board of Assessors is supposed to be assessed based on a fee simple value.
Well, no, we can do all three approaches if we need to.
There's 3 approaches, but inside, when you look at property rights, there's a fee simple interest,
Sure. Oh, yeah.
and then there's a leased fee interest. If you base the opinion of value on the leases only, without any input from market rents, that's a leased fee value because it's based on contract rent.
But we do take market rent.
That's why I
Yeah.
asked that.
Absolutely, we're going to do market rent.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's how if you were to buy that property, how would you purchase it? What kind of income does it generate?
Will they take $5,159 a day?
I doubt it. But they haven't given us any information, so we're going to have to visit each one of them. We've got it treated as just a whole retail. It's all retail. But I'm afraid if we break it down individually, it's going to go up.
Wait, yeah.
So they might better watch out what they're asking for.
Well, I mean, just anybody in general. I mean, because at the end of the day, if you're bickering or if you've got concerns or questions, don't understand the assessed value,
Mhm.
what, you think it needs to be this value, when they need to be asked, will you sell it for me for that today?
And right now, before we get to meet with anybody and get this information, it's based on cost and market. You have another comparable that's sold like Pike Plaza around here.
No.
So we have to depend on cost for now. What did it cost to build that structure plus the land, of course?
When you do an analysis on a facility like that, do you strictly limit your comps to the county that's in, or do you look at the entire market area?
I try to look at the county itself, but if there are no comps, you just go strictly on income. What is this property generating annually?
Well, then that's a lease fee value. then.
Market. What is the yeah? So, but I assume they're getting market rent. So what? I don't understand your question so much. Are you saying we should appraise it a different way?
I'm saying that the assessors are tasked with valuing real estate at fee simple interests. If our underlying value is based on contract rent, without looking to see if contract rent is equivalent to market rent, then we're not assessing at fee simple.
If they are leasing that Mexican restaurant for $2,000 a month, or whatever is on the property that they're leasing, that's what I'm going to use to develop an income.
Yeah, that
Actual
would be the
rent.
market approach right there.
Actual rent.
That's it could be, but without verification that $2,000, and if it's broken down into a per square foot, is it triple net? Is it net? Is it modified gross? Is it full
It's-
service? What type of lease is it?
It's lease less expenses, it's rent less expenses, so they gotta have a P&L report.
Right, but are those expenses reimbursed?
Now you're getting into fee appraisal, man. We're mass appraisal.
I know it's mass appraisal, but it goes back
There's
to,
your
are we,
$10,000 appraisal.
are
right
we
there.
assessing at fee simple or least fee?
We're assessing at market value. What is this property worth based on today's market? And I'm going to use market rent.
Okay,
I'm going to use what they would use if I was to buy that property and I see that I can get 10,000 a month out of these, whatever. That's how I'm going to appraise it, because that's the way I would purchase it. And I've got to keep up with what is this property worth in today's market. And if they
Right.
don't give us the information, then what do we do?
then you look at market rent and you base it based on that.
Right.
How do you determine your cap rates?
I've got a bunch of information on cap rates. I'll also use some strips that have sold, so I'll get a cap rate out of that.
Is it reported cap rate, or do you calculate the cap
I
rates?
can calculate my own cap rate, or I can just use what is an average cap rate for these type properties. So I have a different cap rate for mini warehouses, for convenience stores, for anything that generates an income. But I have that guideline set up, and I have never had a taxpayer argue with my cap rate.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
The NA,
That means they didn't tell us what they think it's worth.
they're just gonna let you
They
out
just-
and figure it out.
They just left it blank.
Okay, that's what I figured that.
So commercial stores, how did you go up on those? Did you use the same formula?
Everything's cost right now. That is correct.
And I noticed they didn't go up very high, very
The
much.
commercial,
Did you, on your
Convenience
cost,
stores.
on your cost, did you use a straight line depreciation, or did you use a
we
effective
use an
age?
opinion depreciation.
Okay.
When my guys are out there, they use, it's all an opinion.
How
Once
did
we-
they determine the effective age?
It's an opinion, my man. It's what he sees out there. Does this property look like it's 70% good on the cost side? Then he'll treat it that way. You know, once again, mass appraisal. I mean, y'all would never get anything done if we had to do a fee appraisal on every single commercial property. You can't do it.
Right.
It's like doing timber tracks. You can't pay for a cruise, so we just have to, when we back timber out, we have to estimate. Yeah, that's it. And if they don't give us any information, we go with what market rent should be. I'm going to get some rental information from taxpayers. I'll just apply that to other properties that are like that locally.
All right.
That makes sense?
It does, yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, you're gonna hold your gun on valuations similar to this. They can go to Board of Equalization if they have to.
Absolutely.
And then when you go before the Board of Equalization, we're gonna talk about square footages, year
Right.
build, cost of construction,
Mhm.
et cetera, and those numbers are gonna add up.
And the BOE is pretty good about using the appeal. What did the taxpayer put on their appeal form, their requested value? And if it's something ridiculous, they're pretty good about saying, hey, their number was closer because you just didn't put any realistic number down there. So I don't know what they're going to do when they put nothing down there. But about half of them is what you're seeing where they didn't put anything down.
Because really, right now, there's
It's
some,
not required, but it needs to, it's up to that BOE to say, hey, they presented a number, you did not. So they have the right to rule on our side because of that asserted value.
Absolutely.
Bill or value you have to assert.
Right. Yeah. All my boards are different. Every county is different that I work in.
how do you want us to be?
Y'all are fine. I think we're doing just fine. We keep, no matter what's going on with y'all, we keep our head down, we keep rolling, we keep doing what we have to do. Because none of our counties are smooth sailing.
You have.
There's nothing on this. I just wanted y'all to see what all's under appeal, what they're asking us to do. Some of those, you may know the property and go, I know this, there's no way that property, whatever. That's kind of for y'all to look at. We could have another 100 come in between now and Monday. The reason I say Monday is you'll still be able to mail it off Friday, and they always roll in the next week. Once we get over about 320 appeals, you get to that 3%, It's not gonna tie your digest up, but it gives us an extra 180 days to work through the appeals. So,
Do you see year after year that your commercial real estate property owners appeal every year?
no, sir. That first year normally is the big year, and we get the information from them, and unless it just changes, the commercials pretty much stay the same until,
Oh, I guess that was residential.
yeah, we're just now trying to catch up
Yeah.
on the
Do
commercial.
you have an explanation why commercial property hadn't been touched for as long as it has in Pike?
It's hard to do.
Huh?
It's hard to do.
Hard to do.
I got it.
We just let them go then.
I don't know, I can't speak for before we got here, so I'm not sure. I know why most of my counties don't do it, they just can't do it. They just-
How many counties have you observed that have not adequately assessed their commercial real estate?
Everyone that I came into hasn't allowed me to leave.
How many is that?
I'm in 9 right now. I'm in 9 counties. So when we come to a county, normally they're under a consent order, they're in trouble with the revenue department, they need us to come in, be the scapegoat.
Is it majority rural counties?
What do you mean?
The
Rural.
rural counties.
Oh, rural. Oh, I thought you said majority rural.
I did too. I had to think about it for a second.
I speak.
Bainbridge is my Decatur County is my biggest. Pickens County has 30,000 parcels. Decatur is where we're doing a full ground approach is, they're like 25,000. Then the rest of my counties are about y'all's size, 10 to 12,000. But my South Georgia counties rely a lot on farm properties. So I have to do a lot of farm appraisals down there. Soil class means a lot down there. It doesn't mean
Yeah,
so
it
much
does.
up here, but it is integrated into the schedule. So when you see you might see 2 large tracts. Sorry to get off track here, but I know Brent likes to hear me say this. You might have 2 tracts of land that are exactly the same size next to each other, but if they got different soil classes, that value may price it out a little bit different.
Yep.
Like I said, South Georgia, that means a lot. Up here, I don't think it means so much
They're
until you
farming
get
down
to
there.
until you get to about a certain acreage. I don't know that the soil classes mean a whole lot. So that's also a work in progress. Once I'm in a county for a few years, I kind of see how that works. Yeah,
Anything else?
I do. Yes, this is pretty important too. All right, I didn't run the full report on this, but the dollar per acre overrides that are holding some of these properties down from changing with the schedules. Brent, you know what I'm talking about? Y'all know what I'm talking about. This is what we're looking at. I've worked a couple of them up. I'll show y'all too, man. I just wanted to kind of show. There's 294 of them.
The one we have 200, we have 294 parcels that have overrides on them, and overrides are only supposed to be
3 years.
3 years.
Can you get them off to help us this
Yes,
year?
I'm getting, that's what I'm doing. I had to go through the Department of Revenue, or Greg did, actually Greg got this taken care of, getting Grant Hilton to run a report, because we have tried to run this report forever. My other counties couldn't run it, nobody could run it. So finally, last week, this report was run, I started matching them up, and this is the report
So
we
they
did.
gonna get reappraised this
They
year?
are, yes, and that's what I need y'all to tell me what to do on these. There's not 294 parcels, because like right here, you see the same parcel, 219A. All right, so it was froze at 3150 an acre. Let's see, where were we going? It's going to go up to 8,800 an acre. So that's the kind of increases we're seeing.
That's commercial.
No, this is rural land.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, most of this is rural. And I didn't work it all out because they were changing so much. I said, I'm going to put the brakes on until I show this to the board, because this is the percent increase that these are going to go up 2 and 3 times. So from 2,000 an acre to 5,000 an acre, from 6,000 an acre to 13,000 an acre.
But it says they've been frozen for 10 years.
Okay, over.
I was going to ask. what
These
the
are
date
10
was.
years. Yep, these are 10. This one right here, I've got, this one has been frozen for 15 years. It was at 3,000 an acre. It's about to go to almost 10,000 an acre. But that means we have to send corrected notices if y'all want to do that for this year.
I mean, they need to be,
15 years. That was prior to Greg.
Yes,
Yeah,
so there's some that are
15
20 years.
20, yeah.
And if you don't know where to find that, it can obviously go 20 years without tracking it down.
Yeah, like, here's a good example
There's
right
1, 2,
here.
3, 4, 5,
But
6,
I
7,
found a
8,
bunch of them.
10.
Mhm.
You can have all these if you.
I got them right here.
Okay.
Yep, all those should show up, and I'll have
Okay.
all this taken care of. I'm gonna try and get that done for next week because we need to get these sent out pretty
I got
quick.
3 pages of recent things that have been frozen.
Mhm.
Partial sold for over $1 million, valued in $100,000. I'll call you today and give those partial numbers.
Okay.
So whether or
Shoot
not
me a
it's,
text with them if you would. Just text me the parcel number. Yes,
so
sir.
whether or not it's commercial land that has been frozen or residential land that has been frozen, they're frozen at an assessment rate
Mhm.
for 3 years, and that's supposed to come off. So I'm just probably speaking out loud so they can hear me, and anybody here can hear me. So whether it be 12 years, 17 years, or 7 years, they have been paying taxes
On the
way
true, on the
less.
true value.
Yeah.
And when they're in that, they don't get my new schedule. So all the folks that y'all have been seeing going up like you have, and then these right here, because they're not getting the schedule that I built. But once you get these into the right schedule, right accessibility, desirability, and it's not as easy as just going through and taking the override off. Once I take the override off, I got to make sure it's classed right.
It's going to be some shock and awe to these people when they get their revised bill.
But this has been a report that I have been trying to track down. And we finally got it.
Good.
So
Thank you.
there's that. So there's 294 of these. There's going to be about 300 others. So we're going to be sending out 500 new notices. These are going to get 45 days. These will get 30 because we're resending these. It starts over the 45-day process. It's the only fair way to do that. Now, most of these people are going to contact us long before that. So we'll get on it as soon as they start.
Does that need to be in
responding.
form of a motion?
It does. Yes, sir. You got, yeah.
So we need to entertain a motion.
To resend corrected notices.
I'll
I
make
make
a
a
motion to
motion
rescind the
to-
corrected motion.
And I'll second.
And that is for the ones that have been on
Override.
overrides for well over
Yeah.
the time period allotted.
And that's going to be about 150 of them, but there's 294 because of the different soil classes for each one.
So we
Which is
got,
good news. It's not as many parcels, but there's that many entries that I have to adjust.
so we got a motion and a second with a directive for him to go ahead and send.
You can give it to Corey Brent. for the
Revised
second.
notices. All in favor? You getting all that? All right.
I talk to Danielle 4 or 5 times a day, so she just asks me again.
All right. So anybody got anything else for Joe? We need to move on. You good, Joe? You done?
I am, yep.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
All right,
Joe.
Thank y'all. I appreciate the questions.
Thank you.
Board members report. Anybody got anything they want to specify?
I would like to, for our citizens, I would like Christopher T. to kind of explain, the assessments and then the millage rate. Because he explains this so well, and I think the citizens need to know, it's not our board. I'm being told we're getting death threats. Everybody's getting death threats because of this, but Christopher T. can explain that this doesn't come to it's not based on our board of taxes going up. It's the millage rate and the commissioners, and he just explains it really well. So I was going to ask him if he could for our citizens.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of anger out there about taxes. A lot of it's being directed at the assessors and the office. There's a lot of politics involved. There's a lot of hate. Just last week, I saw on social media where a local business owner was wishing all of us dead. It's just, it's sad to see it get to that point. When you look, the anger of the citizens over the taxes is real and justified, I think. But it's not the assessments that's causing the increase in taxes. If you look at the budget, these budgets are available on the Pike County website. The 2020 122 budget was $15 million. The next year it went up to, I think it was $21 million. The year after that, the county budget went to $33 million. And then last year it was at $38 million. Taxes are not going up because of assessments. They're going up because the county is spending more money. All the assessment is, the assessors value all the real estate in the county. I think right now we're at just over $1 billion. So your average house, it's like $300,000 or $400,000. That's just a percentage of that $1 billion. That percentage is what is applied to the budget. If you look, I lost my train. I don't speak well in public.
You're doing great.
Y'all
You're
are a
doing-
means to an end.
doing a
The
great
assessor's
job.
office is a tool.
We are a
To
tool.
collect money for the county to operate.
Yep.
And I tell people this all the time, if we go in and we cut that digest in half in the assessor's office, cut everybody's property value
That's
in
exactly
half,
right. They're
what's
still
going to
going
happen?
to owe the same amount of
The
money.
county still needs X amount of dollars to operate.
That's
And they're
exactly
going
the case.
up on the millage rate, which makes the taxes go up.
However,
Most rational people would be ecstatic to see their property value increase
Uh-huh. As long as-
dramatically because it means more equity to them. It means more value to their estate. But when that value is tied to a budget that just keeps increasing, it gets out of
They can't
hand.
separate us from
They
that.
can't separate it.
the only thing I can see that does make a difference is one, if commercial property was being assessed properly and when it's supposed to be assessed, so the values are proper, the overrides, all of those are variables to the tool that is not letting the process work like it's supposed to.
Yeah, there is some sticking points to the tool, yes.
So if all of those are corrected, then people would be paying their fair share of taxes, whereas there's a lot that aren't. There's a lot that are underpaying, and there's a lot that are overpaying.
Mhm.
So if we do everything we're supposed to do, then
I don't know if I would say there's a lot because if you look at the
of the overpay or the underpay, which one?
both.
Hmm.
Because if you look, there are always cases. You know, you just found 100 and something overrides out of 10,000 parcels.
Well, that percentage is low, yeah.
Yes. So if you look at the coefficient of dispersion and the bias indicators, I think even though Pike County has missed the ratio a few times, in general, the coefficient of dispersion and the bias indicators have been within tolerances. So in general, across the board, Pike County residents have been treated fairly, except for the few hundred.
All
Or
it takes is
1,000.
one or two that are being treated unfairly.
Yes.
And then you've got an issue. You want everybody to be treated.
Yes, you do.
And the way the exemptions are set up through the state, do you want to be treated fairly on your value or on your taxes?
Those exemptions are a joke. A $2,000 homestead exemption. I don't know if you're talking about a different kind of exemption.
All of them, elderly
A
exemptions.
$2,000 exemption results in about $20 in savings per year. That $2,000 exemption was implemented back in the 30s when $2,000 was worth a whole lot more, but it was tied to a specific number instead of a percentage. So over the past 90 years, that $2,000 has almost become worthless.
Point.
Well, you heard what I said about the 40%. If they want to help homestead properties, make them pay on 20% instead of the 40%.
Mhm.
Instead of creating all these laws and tying up people sending notices. Homestead properties pay on 20%. Everybody else pays on 40%. But that's a little too simple.
It's a little bit too much common sense.
Yeah. Yep. So, how to go over there. I'll talk with you about that stuff. I don't mind. All right, y'all. Have I muddied it up enough?
No, you're good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All
you.
right. Good to see y'all. And as long as you're under appeal, I will absolutely. Okay. See y'all.
Have a good day.
Oh, y'all, I'll meet with you if I need to.
Joe,
Yes, sir.
man,
Roosevelt, you gotta do that application, right? You have to fill out the appeal, right?
He's already
Yeah,
on
there
this
you go.
list.
Oh, you are only, okay.
Hopefully those are on my list too, and we'll get them out this year.
Yeah, so he'll address that.
All right.
All right, so now we're moving on. We number 11, we've got to pass that. Old business, 12, there is none.
Is that enough for me?
New business.
Got one day's work.
Thank y'all.
See you, Joe.
See y'all.
Thank you. We've got one starting with non-disclosure. Oh. There you go.
There's two of them in there.
Two, so there's two applications. So there's two non-disclosures. Oh, yeah, I knew that. Yeah, I'm gonna pass it this way now, let that pass it. Start down there with, and then I'll look at it. Look at it, and then we'll pass it down that way.
With the end. With the end.
I've always been this one.
Who's not? That's, we're doing something different.
That's a good explanation.
Those are two
I hope they listen and understood. This one.
All right, we got two
What is this?
non-disclosures.
What is this? For what? For starting? Yeah.
Can I entertain a motion for the two non-disclosure applications being presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the two non-disclosures as presented.
I'll second.
A motion and second. All in favor?
Wait a minute, discussion. I'd like
Oh,
to comment,
discussion, go ahead.
that I
Without,
dislike,
without mentioning their details.
I'm not gonna say
Okay.
nothing. I don't like these non-disclosures because even though we are proving that it's locked in for life, it's never coming off, even if something happens to the employment. of
There's
these
no
people.
mechanism to remove them if they have a reason to be.
Well,
It's locked
state
in.
law states that they,
State law says that they locked in forever.
it's for current or former, so
So nobody will ever be able to give their information. Now you can vote.
All in favor? Motion carries. All right, so we got board consideration for bridges, parcel number, plat number 076, parcel 026. Map 0, that's it, right? Yeah. Map and parcel. That's the map number, right? First one,
Yes.
parcel, map number
So
076.
the board consideration for this one is, since the commissioners, they have filed a return back in February that the house broke down, so you're gonna vote to send it to here's the
Oh,
information.
yeah,
To send to the commissioners
It
for
burned after January 1st.
first, yep. And the commissioners are the only ones that have the
Yeah,
authority to
we can't
reduce.
do anything about it because January 1st.
So you're gonna consider sending it to the commissioners for the commissioners to,
Didn't we already do that?
there's
That one?
different
Yeah.
ones.
Definitely.
There's been a couple that burned down.
Okay, so this is a new one.
Mhm.
I thought it sounded very much like the first one. This one we just, so we need to entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to send that to the commissioners for
For
consideration.
review and consideration.
I'll second that motion. We send to the commissioners for consideration.
Motion and a second to forward the bridges map 076 parcel 026 to the commissioners for review and approval. All in favor?
Wait a minute, discussion.
Any discussion?
The Department of Revenue says it's on the record first of the year that they pay tax on it. Now, we're down to, this is July, 6 months, and so we're not going against the
Yeah.
Department of
The
Revenue.
commissioners have the ability to to grant
Any kind of relief.
any of the relief. We do not. So we're sending it to them
I
to make
just
the
want,
decision.
I just wanted to say that it's not up to us to change the rules of the Department of Revenue, but the commissioners can do what they want to. Now,
And I'm not gonna say what I wanna say about the Department of Revenue. All right? Because I really don't care what the Department of Revenue thinks. So that's it. I need to stop right there. Did we take it to a vote?
Yeah, we already voted.
Okay, all in favor again? All right, so I forgot that. All right, so now we are to, for consideration for Murdoch. Map 096 parcel 031.
Okay, it's the same thing, house burn in January 14th.
January, oh, my birthday.
What?
House burn January 14th.
What's another one that's in the third?
Okay, so they just essentially don't want to pay taxes on something that's not there anymore.
Right.
And so I need to entertain a
I'll
motion.
make a motion to send that to the Board of Commissioners for consideration.
I second the motion to send to the commissioners for recommendation.
Got a motion and a second to forward this on to the Board of Commissioners for review and consideration. Murdoch is the name of the property owner, map 096 parcel 031. All in favor? Motion carries. Is the tally the same thing?
No,
No, we had a correction on hers and a refund of 118.
Oh, that's right. That's the one that didn't have, the square footage was different.
Correct.
All
I
right,
believe
so.
it was an attic space that we had and it's not finished.
All right, so we got board consideration tally, which is map 062 parcel 119, 062 119. And this is where the square footage was incorrect. They thought it was,
2356,
yeah.
and it's actually 2056, so it's 300 square foot over.
I don't know who they were thinking that they were relying on, but I mean, I don't know who they are.
How old's the house?
Excuse me, I'm Mrs. Talent.
Is that you?
Uh-huh.
Well, you should have let us
I
know that. I
understand.
could have said something really derogatory. I'm just kidding.
I'll be glad to answer any questions and lay out the scenario
Go
for
ahead.
how it came about. We moved into the house December of '07. It was brand new. We moved from out of state. The house was on the market. We had a prospective buyer look at it in May. We sold 4 houses in 10 years in 3 different states. It has never occurred to us to go in and
And
measure
measure.
the rooms, okay? So we moved into it. The prospective buyer's real estate agent measured the rooms, and that's how the discrepancy came to our attention.
So it could have been a mistake by the
Hold on.
yeah.
And
How was the measurement done? Did you measure the interior of the rooms?
she did. She did. The bonus room upstairs has a walk-in closet and a bath.
Okay.
From the walk-in closet, you walk into the attic. I thought it'd be really cute to put some curtains in those dormers.
Yeah.
And apparently, when you're driving by to look at the house, it looks like it's finished. No, it is not.
Have you had somebody come measure the outside of the house?
I think Greg did, didn't he?
Me and Greg.
You
When
did
when
measure
this
the
came to
outside?
our attention, I
Okay.
made a very quick trip to the assessor's office.
It's just.
So they did a
the
perimeter
front part
measurement.
was saying it was finished. Closest out to the window of the garage.
Okay.
And it's
But-
not.
But an exterior measurement of the house was conducted. Okay. All right.
So
Which gives which gives the more accurate square footage, the perimeter measure?
General policy is for the exterior of houses to be measured.
And I can understand it, because if you measure the rooms, you're not catching that wall space.
Right. Well,
I mean,
it's industry standard. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, all the lenders, all the tax assessors, everybody measures from the outside. Appraisers are now being held to a standard called ANSI, which has very specific guidelines for how the measurements are taken. You're supposed to measure to the closest inch or tenth of an inch, which as tax assessors, we don't. We measure generally to the closest foot.
So what action do we need to take on this?
Well, if we measured it from the outside, then I'm going to assume the 20 is correct.
Mhm.
if we were gonna base it on interior measurements, then I was gonna say we'd have to go measure the house.
I think Greg did that.
Yeah, she just said, yeah, that we did, so.
Tom was out there, I think.
So it was measured properly. to
Sounds like it.
conclude The square
Yeah.
footage. And so we need to revise our assessment notice. Is that what we need to send out a revised
Yeah,
assessment notice?
Yes.
No, this has already been taken care of. She's wanting, to go in front of the board to receive a.
Oh, this is,
Yeah.
Oh, a refund, okay.
So
It
we're
went
just-
back to 3 years.
so we're just forwarding this on to
To
the
the
board of
commission.
commissioners also
Okay.
Yes, sir.
for review.
Yes, sir. Please and thank you.
All right.
Well, I'll make a motion to forward that to the board of commissioners for consideration based on the updated gross living area.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Thank
All
you.
right, that passes.
Thank you.
All right, so our E, is that right? Hospitality. All
She
right, so we
wants, she
got-
wants to come out of the code.
We got board consideration on Goolsby, map number 078, parcel 014. You need to get your folder there.
She's requesting to come out of Cuba.
Yes, she's wanting to leave Cuba.
Yeah, I read it all, but I don't recall. So, she able to do
She
that?
gave no reason. She just said, just let her know.
They meet the qualifications to be released from conservation.
Okay.
So they're requesting.
They do meet the requirements? Okay, what aspect of it? Same term or age or?
Both.
Okay.
All right, can I entertain a motion
Motion for what?
To release them from
to relieve,
based
to
on their
release.
eligibility to be released from the penalty.
They're compliant with requirements to exit at request, so.
Without penalty.
Somebody
Without
passed away.
penalty.
Well, there's a whole bunch of reasons. Age, they reach a certain age, they're in their second term, somebody died, I don't know.
Oh,
I've got it.
that's just it. We got it right here. So, can I entertain a motion?
I make a motion to accept the release without penalty from Cuba.
I'll second it.
Got a motion to, release, Goolsby, map 078, parcel 014 from Cuba without any penalty. All in favor? Motion carries. So now we got Vogel, map 047, parcel 026. And, what was that updating on that one again?
She is, applying for conservation and live in her
Thank you.
field.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
y'all. Glad you came.
She's got 10.65 acres, but when you take the house out, she's got 8.65. So she wants to be considered for Cuba. She has provided information where she has chickens and receipts where she is selling the eggs. So I was bringing it to y'all.
Has anybody been down there and checked if she's got to?
Yes. All Cuba property gets inspected. And here's her additional documentation where she bought feed, chickens from auctions, and where she has sold eggs.
I think they qualified even without all that pretty much. They've got-
Well, it's 8.65 acres without that, with the
I
house.
understand why.
Right, but I mean,
Just Vogel.
Yes.
Why wouldn't it
That was
be on
because-
real property?
I'm not sure.
the
Unless in the-
legislator changed the rules on everybody after the fact.
Why didn't this just fall under real property? Because we got approval or denial of 3 Cougars.
Because y'all have to consider it because she's got the less than the 10 acres
Less
to
than-
qualify.
That's
So
it.
y'all have to consider it. That's why she brought her chicken receipts and receipts where she has sold eggs from her chickens.
Is it right here?
And one of my questions today was actually gonna be, every, application for Cuba, do y'all go out to the properties? That was gonna be
You
one
have
of my
to.
questions. Gotcha.
She got a lot of chickens running around?
I didn't go out for that.
I went by that.
She got a lot of chickens running around? But she's got receipts where she sold eggs though. Well, what's your position on this? What's your opinion on this?
My position is that originally it was 10 acres, and then after so many people got into Cuba, the legislator changed the rules after the fact, after people cut their parcels up into 10 acre, large tract of the 10 acre parcels in anticipation of conforming with Cuba, and then had the rug pulled out from underneath them. So I think she, 10 acres, she's over 10 acres. So I think she still conforms.
Capiche. All right, can I entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Got a
I'll
motion
second
on the
it.
floor. Got a second to approve, her Cougar.
Yep.
Application.
Let her raise those chickens.
All in favor? All opposed? 4-1. Motion carries. Oh, sure. Okay, so now we're down to real property A. We have approval or not?
No, data to Commissioner's Office.
Oh, yeah. I'm already so ready. You're right. G. Sorry. So we're down to G. I need a motion, to Carrie, can I entertain a motion to transfer data from the tax assessor's office to the tax commissioner's office? And I'm assuming that is just assessment so that she can,
Yeah, what data is it?
I guess it's the
It's our
assessment.
information, so when Donna sends out the bills, it's all the correct information.
I'll make a motion to approve that transfer.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second to transfer the data from the tax assessor's office to the tax commissioner's office. All in favor? Motion carries. So let me make sure I don't have anything else. All right. Now we're moving on to real property. We need approval or denial of 3 new CUBA applications as noted on the agenda. Can I entertain a motion? Staff recommends approval, so all these applications are compliant with CUBA requirements.
I'll make a motion to approve them based on staff recommendation.
I'll second that
Got a
motion.
motion and a second to approve these 3 new CUBA applications. All in favor? Motion carries. B, we have got 3 applications that are continuations of CUBA as noted on the agenda. Can I entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the 3 continuation CUVA applications.
Got a motion on the floor. Can I entertain a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? And motion carries. C is we have 2 renewal applications for CUBA. Staff recommends approval. These renewals are as noted on the for parcels and maps as noted on the agenda. Can I entertain a motion?
I make a motion to accept renewals per staff recommendation.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second on the floor for approval of these 2 CUBA renewal applications. All in favor? Motion carries. Okay, we've got 40 homestead exemption applications, regular homestead, S1, category S1. Staff recommends approval. Can entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 40 homestead regular S1s per staff recommendation.
Motion on the floor.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. All right, so now we have 2 applications for homestead exemption, category S5, disabled veteran under 65. Staff recommends approval. I need a motion.
Make a motion to approve the
2 applications.
2 applications for
S5
the
category.
S5 category.
I'll second that motion.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. F is 2 applications for homestead exemption, classification SD, that's disabled veteran over 65. Staff recommends approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2 disabled veteran over 65 applications.
I'll second that
Got a motion
motion.
and a second on the floor. All in favor? Motion carries. G is we have 16 applications for homestead exemption, classification L4, that is 65 income based. Staff recommends approval.
I make a motion
Wait, hold on
to
a second.
accept 16L4.
Discussion.
Got a motion on the floor. Can I entertain a second?
I got a
Okay, now we go to
discussion.
discussion.
Okay. I don't see any writing on this. Let me ask Emily if she knows, if she's familiar with this one. Is this one the one that we're voting on?
Y'all starting your signatures?
Oh, y'all have-
I need to get a rubber stamp.
Okay,
Those are the ones that we can sign.
okay. We just approved
Just found
those?
mine.
Yeah, the ones up there, yes.
Okay, and this was in there. This one.
Did you get that stack to sign right there?
I'm just wondering, has anybody been out to look at this?
Yeah, we go out and review conservation.
Okay. And this was a wildlife habitat?
How many acres, Brent?
This one has, 20.25 total. Covenant's 18.25.
They got
It's
a
just-
wildlife habitat, they gotta be planting something or feeding something, or they just can't be
A lot of
growing.
these applications are just kind of blank, and
Are we
Yeah,
talking about the L4?
that's what I'm wondering, which one we're on, because you're going so fast.
We're on homesteads.
Yeah. Hmm.
So the one that you were looking at. We haven't gotten to that one yet.
Okay, okay. And what is that one, a L?
We're on,
That's a conservation you're looking at, that's not a homestead.
Okay,
Yeah.
so all right, now I see what you're saying. Okay. All right, good.
I'm gonna wait for Brent to get back
Okay.
here real quick.
Good. There he is.
All right, so now we are back to G, which is 16 applications for homestead exemption classification L4, 65 income based, right? We have not voted on that one, right?
That is correct.
Okay, can, staff recommends approval. Can I entertain a motion?
We have a motion.
Oh, we got a second, so we have to put it to vote, that's
Yes,
right.
we just
All
discussed.
in favor? Motion carries.
Who was Christopher, did you second that?
I did.
Yes,
Yes,
I think, that was,
that was
It
me.
was Brent and
okay. All right, H, we have 5 applications for homestead exemption classification L1. That is 65 non-income based. Staff recommends approval.
Make a motion to accept the 5L1 per staff recommendation and approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. All right, now we have 25 applications for homestead classification L7, 70 and older income based. Staff recommends approval. Can I entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the 25L7 exemptions based off staff recommendations for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor? Motion carries. These should flow pretty quick because these are pretty, these are just homestead exemption applications. They meet the criteria. Staff recommends approval. So now we are down to,
Can,
you're on L8,
we're down to K, right?
J.
L8.
Oh, I just crossed through it. So we still have 2 L8 applications for homestead exemptions.
Correct.
That's classification L8, 70 or older, non-income based. Did we get a motion and a second on that yet? Okay, entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we accept the 2 L8 per staff recommendation.
Second.
Got a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor? Motion carries. Next one is K. That is 1 application for homestead exemption classification L3, which is 62 income based. Staff recommends approval. Can I entertain a motion?
Make a motion to approve the 62 income-based L3 based on staff recommendation.
Got a motion on the floor. Can I get a second?
I second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. All right, not the last one. So we have L,
L2.
which is 1 application. No, we're down to L.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
we're
one
only-
application for homestead exemption classification L2. That's disabled under 65.
I'll make a motion to accept the 1L2 per staff recommendation.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
What are we on, M?
Motion carries.
We just
We
finished
just
L.
left L.
You're
L.
on M now.
Now we're on M. Okay, so M is a, staff recommends approval for KUVA in lieu of appeal. 10 applications, right? As map and parcel numbers listed on the, as listed on the agenda. Got 10 applications for KUVA, we put in the KUVA in lieu of an appeal on their values.
Who has to be done by April the
They're in your
first?
45-day period, and or when assessments go out, you can file for conservation and with your appeal.
It doesn't have to be April the first.
If you miss the deadline April the 1st, when assessment notices go out in that 45-day window, you have time to file for conservation and leave an appeal or conjunction with your appeal.
So you got 10 applications relevant to the parcels and maps as listed on the agenda that have requested and made application and qualified based on the criteria to go into KUVA rather than filing an appeal on their property value, SSS value. Can I entertain a motion?
I make a motion, we accept the 10 KUVA applications in lieu of appeal based on staff recommendations for approval. Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? All right, that motion carries. Now we're down to personal
No,
property.
you got
18
N.
Oh, we got the N18 waivers. I'm sorry. So we need to make a motion for,
They've accepted their value changes for
Okay.
their appeals, or they accepted that they are in conservation now, so they signed a waiver to their appeal.
all right,
So there's 18 of those.
can I entertain a motion on that?
I make a motion, we accept the 18 waivers in lieu of appeal per staff recommendation. Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Can we,
Any discussion?
yeah, please. I want to know exactly. I don't want to vote on something I don't understand. What exactly is it?
Well, they agreed
They agree.
to end their appeal where they've either accepted the value change or they got their conservation.
Okay. Okay. I got it now. That's all I needed.
Put it to a vote. All in favor? Motion carries. Now we're down to personal property. We got a 2014 Jeep Wrangler. I don't have any values here. What was it on there?
The price of the vehicle, he paid $8,800. The
State valued it at $12,350.
$350.
NADA has it at $17,065.
So we go with the 12,350.
Yep. Any extenuating circumstances on it?
He did not say anything.
Okay.
It has 211,972 miles on it. That's all he put.
But Emily, has anyone looked at this vehicle?
Greg looked at it.
Okay.
No photos.
They did. It was on his iPad. On the county iPad.
All right, based on highway,
that, right?
Yes.
based on precedence, can I entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to set it at the 12,350, based on our
State value.
state value, but based on
And
our operating policy.
procedures, yeah.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second to set this tax value, ad valorem tax, 12,350.
Yeah.
All in favor? Motion carries. Okay, are we down to public comment? Got anything you want to say?
Listen, I'm happy to see y'all working this like it. It's gracious.
Brett Taylor's just been long-winded.
It happens.
Nobody else, anybody else got anything they want to comment on?
When you asked earlier, Joe, about the, how they're valuing this convenience stores, and he said that sometimes they have to use a visual approach. Is there a mathematical formula they use on a visual approach? I mean, is that
On
how
a
you
what
assess-
approach?
He said like visual.
Oh, depreciation. I asked him how they determine the depreciation, if they use a straight line method or if he used an age life effective age method. he basically said they used an age life effective age method just based on how they felt the thing looked. When you value properties with a cost approach, which is the mass appraisal uses cost approach very heavily. And when you look at the expected life of a property, say a house usually has an expected life of around 60 years. And as it ages, a house that's 20 years old may or may not be 20 years old in its effective age because, the roof's been replaced or wiring. Well, in 20 years, wiring would be usually done, but, carpet, flooring's been replaced.
Some kind of thing.
Cabinets have been replaced. And so instead of the home actually being 20 years old and having 40 years left, because all that maintenance has been done, you could estimate that it has an effective age of, say, 10 years. So it would have 50 years remaining. So then you do that percentage and you calculate the cost of the replacement, and then you apply that percentage of the age to that total cost, and that's what the current actual, insurance companies call it actual cash value.
So that's replacement cost,
Yeah.
less depreciation.
Less depreciation. So that's how I was wondering how they were determining their effective age when he said that they used the
I
cost approach.
I always take the construction year built, and then the year that the upgrades were made. I take those two numbers and divide them by 2 and kind of look at where I am.
Well,
right there.
there's ways to do it using a market approach where you look at what that property would be worth based on how much it would sell for, and then you would then perform an analysis on the underlying land. How much is the land worth? And so the difference between what the total property would sell for with what the land would sell for, the difference is what the market views that depreciation of that building is. So that's what I was trying to get at with him as far as how they determine their effective age.
Plus on them convenience stores, they have to pay personal property on inventory and entertainment
And for
machines.
you to say that it hasn't went up much, that's what I mean. I took it as, all right, well, if we don't really have anything to compare it to, I'm gonna do a visual assertion of this property. And I'm guess on what I think it's valued at, because I've heard them use the word guess before. And I don't agree with that at all. So that's not all. I mean, they're supposed to have some kind of mathematical equations. There's gotta be some kind of number they're using.
There are cost schedules. Marshall and Swift is a big one. At the back of that manual, there's a whole section that talks about the expected life of a convenience store is 45 years or something. It also depends on the type of building. If it's a Class D or Class C. Class C is a masonry building. Class D is a frame building. Class S is a steel beam building. And each one of those classes has a different life expectancy. So that's how they derive those numbers usually.
And as far as, and the other question I had, actually, heated square feet is what you're basing everything off of, or the,
Yes.
yeah, so if measuring the outside of the structure is the proper way to get the actual heated square feet of it.
Yes. Yeah, that's the generally accepted practice.
And a set of plans, like say when I decide to build a house and I bring the building zone into my set of plans, it's going to have heated square feet in there, and then it's going to have another number of square feet. Well, that heated square feet.
The other number is
inside.
a lot of times there's a difference between gross living area, the GLA, and the gross building area, GBA. GBA encompasses everything: the garage, the porches, the patios, and the gross living area, the heated and cooled area. That would be the gross building area. That's why a lot of times on those building plans you see 2 different numbers. One is the gross living area, which is the heated and cooled area, and the other one is total square footage of everything.
So, but I guess I'm trying to speak educated. So when I give you a set of plans, is that heated square feet that's listed on there, is that measured outside the exterior walls or is that inside the room?
That's measured exterior walls.
So they could be catching a garage that's not heated then.
No, it's in between studs. That's the heated area.
Yes, it is.
Outside the
But-
actual part is heated, is from stud to stud inside. That's your heated part.
Yes, you're right in that regard. But when you look at it,
From outside to outside, is under the roof. That's what you're.
corner to corner is how gross living area is generally determined. If you go from all the various lenders, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, tax assessors, they all measure exterior. That way, everybody is uniform in how they're being measured. The only variance would be when you try to measure a condo, because those you measure from interior to interior, because the interior portion of a condominium is owned by the property owner. The building and the infrastructure is owned by the association.
So basically, you're assessing what he's getting at is you do the square footage, not the heated square footage. You're actually doing square footage.
Sounds to me like they're doing the perimeter of the whole square foot. Sounds to me like y'all try, I'm
Yeah,
kinda-
we're talking in circles a little bit, yeah.
And you're,
He's trying to
I
get
think
it.
you're saying that, hey, well, if that's heated, then you're not getting the accurate count for heated, because you should be deducting that garage square footage from that perimeter.
And they are.
They are.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah. I mean,
there's different line items for the garage area and the patios. Yeah.
Because heated square feet to me is inside of the structure. And the outside of the structure, I mean, I may have a center block wall with brick on the outside. He just added a
Yeah.
whole lot, you know.
It's not a perfect system, but it's the system that they have developed to try to best ascertain.
And I'm sure any system is probably to the benefit of the Department of Revenue anyway, so.
And then when Ms. Davis, she'd asked about the conservation, she was looking at, y'all wasn't really moving way too fast for me to understand. So you was voting on things. Now, are y'all looking at these applications before y'all vote yes to make sure they're filled out properly, or the staff fills them out?
I go through every one of them. Sometimes it takes me 2 days.
Well, yeah, but you can still, so, but you just approved them to be moved forward for conservation, but now that, you know, I guess you're recorded, but
No, for the
if it's
conference.
not correct, and you say no,
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's why I look through them, and I have questioned some in the past, so, yeah, I think it's important. I just had one that I'm in question with.
that's wrong.
You know, usually once we ask the questions, the answer's obvious, and then, you know, we can approve it. Yeah, Henderson?
Anybody else? I think you went over your 5 minutes, though.
It's okay. We're glad you're here.
No, I'm just, so anybody else got anything?
No, sir.
Y'all good? So I think we're at that next step. Can I entertain a motion to approve? Can I get an approval to adjourn? So entertain a motion.
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor? Okay, we're ending this session at, 10:50.